Welcome viewers to the Dragster Shop and Transmission. Today we're talking about shift kits for a Turbo 350. This is a Transgo SK350 kit. This is a shift improver kit, not an actual all-out shift kit. The reason I wanted to talk about this today was I recently took in a trade-in for a core Turbo 350, and someone had drilled the new separator plate that came in the kit. Now we're just going to talk about the separator plate today. I'll do the valve body modification springs another day, another video. So here we have the directions that come, instructions, directions, however you talk, that come with this kit. Now there were some things done wrong in this transmission, and which led to its, we'll just call it the premature failure. Good parts were used in the transmission. I in fact used this same shift improver kit in my basic rebuilds for the most part. So what you have here that comes in the SK350 kit, as well as other shift kit and shift kit components, you get a good display of instructions. Shows you where to put the Transgo unit SK350, as I showed you at the beginning of the video. This is for the Turbo Hydromatic 350. And in here it explains to you your manual shift valves you may have, how to hook them up. And then you get into the 1-2 shift valve, and then the 2-3 shift valve, where you just basically change the springs. That's all you're really doing there. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the separator plate and the errors that were made during the install of this shift improver kit. And you can see it's a Transgo plate. Now, to look at this plate, you can tell looks normal, right? Then you flip it over and you can see where some holes have been enlarged. One here, here, and here. You can tell the finishes, the black finish is off the plate, so they've been drilled. The transmission wasn't run long enough to actually make those impressions in the plate, so they were drilled. Plus I already know that those holes are way too big. That plate would not have come out of the box. This plate would not have come out of the box with holes that big, so somebody's drilled these holes, and they did it to improve fluid control and probably to give it more fluid, so for a harder, firmer shift. Okay, so another thing is too, you have this plate here, and this plate, let me flip the separator plate over. This plate bolts on right here. Now if you read the instructions, it will tell you that, well, just so you know, this plate from the factory was stamped out, so it's a little bit warped. So what you have to do is you have to take a flat, some people use a flat file or a belt sander, but most people can come up with a nice 10 or 12 inch flat file a lot easier than they can with a belt sander. So what you do is you just run your file across this, and you'll start to see what I'm talking about. Like I said, this is a stamped plate. It's not a CNC'd plate. You gotta understand, these things were cut back in the late 60s, 70s, 80s. So, stamped out of a machine. So what you do is you take your file and you start running it across here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But the idea is to get this flat as possible, so that when you install the new gasket, it has a tighter grip, a flat grip. Spread the torque out equally across the case of the transmission. As you can see, this is not filed. Okay, it's never been touched. So, okay, now, well, that'll cause fluid leaks. Let me finish up on that. That'll contribute to fluid leaks. Now, this kit shows you two different separator plates. And right here, now you have to determine which plate you have. You're obviously working on a 350. You've got an SK350 kit. Non-lockup. See the instructions? This is, do not drill the new Transgo plate for the 350 non-lockup transmissions. Now, if you don't know what a lockup turbo 350 looks like, go to my playlist and look at the videos under the Turbo 350 videos. And scroll down through there. There is a video I did, a short video, explaining the differences between a lockup and non-lockup Turbo 350 transmission and how to identify it. And then, like I said, you look at the instructions. Pay real close attention to the instructions. For one, they may have made a mistake and put the wrong plate in your box, your shift kit box. So what you do, you know you're working on a non-lockup 350 training. So Transgo's always been really good about putting the right stuff in the kit, but you just don't tear into the box and assume that it's right. People make mistakes, you know. Somebody's got to put this stuff in the box. So what you need to do is, you know what you're working on. 350 non-lockup. So what you do is you take your plate and set it there, and you just look at all the holes in relation to the instructions. Okay? You just go back and forth. Now, you'll also see where it says hole drilling on all turbo or all 250s, lockup or non-lockup, and all 350C lockup transmissions. All right. Then you look down here. 250C plate does not have this slot. See that slot right there? All right, find your reference point so you can transfer over to the plate that you have. Like I said, you need to make sure you've got the right plate for your transmission. So we've got the elongated slot. All right. Then you look at the hole here on the left. You look at the bolt hole here for the valve body to your right. Then you come over. See? Here we go. There's your old hole. Round hole. Bolt hole. Elongated hole. Big round hole. Triangular shaped hole. So see, this is a totally different plate. Now, you can drill the holes. I mean, we're working on a 350 here, not a turbo, not a lockup 350 or a 250 lockup or non-lockup. All right, so I know this is getting confusing, and that's why you got to really take your time and read the instructions. I mean, if you're working on a 250 or a 350 lockup, you certainly wouldn't want a 350 non-lockup. I mean, you know, so SK, Transgo, what have you, they make different kits. You just got to know what transmission you're ordering a kit for. All right, so back to the non-lockup plate, which is what this one is. You saw the part number on the box, SK350 non-lockup. So, you do not drill. It tells you right there in the instructions, so don't drill. Reason I'm making this video is somebody took a perfectly good transmission and ruined it. Well, there was other reasons too. Clutch packs had too much clearance in them. I mean, this transmission didn't look like it had maybe 100 miles on it. before it came to me, and as I stated, it was a trade-in. But you don't need to drill this plate. As you can see, it's all it's an extra thick plate. And hang on, big truck going by. All right, sorry about that. However, you read right here, if you're working on a lockup 350 transmission or a 250, look what it says to do right there. Lockup type tranny plate reuse. So there you go. And then of course you read through the rest of the directions. Reuse reinforcing plate, I've covered that already. That's that guy right there. Comes with a gasket in the kit also. It'll come with tuning springs for the governor for your shift points. And now when you, like I said, I'm not going to cover too much of this in this video because this video is getting long already. But the valve body spring install, read this first. Plate supplied in this kit fits 350 non-lockup only. Gaskets supplied fit 350 and 250 non-lockup only. Now, back to the plate. You can use this on a 250. As a matter of fact, they're close to being the same transmission. They're just not as strong as a 350. So, then you identify the transmission before starting installation. A lockup trans has auxiliary valve body with solenoid in front of the main valve body. A 250 transmission has a band adjustment on the passenger side of the case. Forward the front and can be a lockup or a non-lockup version. All 250C or 350C lockups and 250 non-lockups will reuse the original plate. Okay, so, but in a valve body you can use the same springs that you would use in the 350 non-lockup. It's just improving the 1, 2, and 2, 3 shift points, or shifting firmness for the most part. All right, back to what they were saying about the 350 lockup transmission being the belt band adjustment will be on the passenger side. It's right in this area right here. This is a 350 case. You can see there's no adjustment here. So this is a 350 non-lockup. Quick way to tell, and here I go again. Quick way to tell is there's no hole here. If there was a hole here, there would be a wiring harness connector right there, indicating that this is this would be a 350 lockup transmission. There is no hole, so that is a non-lockup. Are you confused yet? I feel like I'm confusing you. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed this content, if you learned anything, give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. I try to read all the comments and get back to you as soon as I can. And hey, subscribe to the channel, or at least consider it. And let me know what you think. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.